Hi everyone, where did the last week go by? I'm actually a little embarrassed to show you what I got done from last week, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So really quick, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of extra details to this layout just so it can fit my needs a little better. Okay, so I finished setting up my layout, and the only changes that I made so far on this side of the page is that on my work section, I decided to keep this section within the box blank so I could put in there my total hours I completed during the week. And instead of just putting this a check mark, I'm going to make it a percentage so I can better keep track of how much I got done. Because in these sections, some days I didn't finish with everything that I wanted to do during the day, but that just makes it look like if it wasn't done versus me knowing how much I actually got to work on it. So, in order to get a little bit of a better picture, I'm going to do those in a percentage style. I kept my inbox checklist the same way, and then I want to get into having a focused cleaning day for separate areas of the house. So that's what I want to write in these sections. So one day kitchen, another day bedroom, another day, guest bedrooms, things like that. So hopefully that can help me focus on those bigger tasks. Because something that I noticed that I definitely struggled with during the last week was that I was focusing too much on my daily routine and not so much on my bigger picture items. So I actually felt that last week went really well with regards to homemaking and just keeping track of the cleanliness of the house and spending time with the family. But I wasn't moving towards a goal, it was just routine things that had to get done. So let me start off with the top three. So, regarding rearranging the master bedroom, this is something I did not do. And it didn't happen because after talking with my husband, I was sharing with him what I wanted to get done with this week. And he told me he actually really likes the layout we have in our bedroom right now. So, because of that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. So, that got crossed off the list. Caulking the kitchen, I had already scooted this task over. It's not going to be a major task for next week, but I did put it as a subtask again for Saturday. I just wrote in that the reason why we didn't get to the caulking was because my husband actually did a lot of yard work on Saturday, cleaning gutters, clearing the roof, taking down tree limbs. Like he was just like so busy. And I feel that yard work is one of those things that when you have the will to do it, like you have the want to work on that, you should take advantage of it. It's like when you feel within yourself that you want to do the dishes, like use that want because seldom does that type of motivation comes, especially right now that it's summer and it's super bad, like a tough weather. He felt like doing the yard work, and I completely, motivated him to do that if that's what he felt like doing. So he worked on getting the yard done, and then on Sunday, we both pretty much had a more chill day. I think Saturday was kind of like a little weighted and a little tougher on both of us because we both spent time outside in the sun. So Sunday, while I worked, he actually had a study session. So that's how we used up our free time. And the last thing was prime the mudroom. Oh my gosh. If you guys remember, I was so unsure about doing this or not. And this was not done either, but it was also canceled. So this was canceled and this was canceled. I had actually bought some peel and stick from Dollar Tree. And when I put it on, oh my gosh, now I know why they make so many like laundry room makeovers with that thing. Whenever I see them, I'm like, oh, okay, like that's nice. But it's not until you do it in your own home that you're like, oh my gosh, it makes such a huge difference. Sometimes so many of the makeovers that I see, I'm like, you're just painting like and adding stuff. Like it doesn't really feel so much like a big makeover. But I think it's because for someone who lives in the space and those small details make such a difference. Because for me, like if you look at it right now, you'd be like, there's nothing grand about what you did, but it has made all the difference to my eyes. So I added peel and stick, and that's made me happy for now. I don't want to worry about priming. I know I've got a lot of painting to look towards too, and that's something I'll just leave out. Okay, so my top three things that I want to focus on this week is my husband has actually kind of set up a new evening schedule for himself. And I say kind of because overall it hasn't changed too much from what he already does on a daily basis, but he wanted to narrow it down and have like specific times for him to do certain things. And I want to make sure I show encouragement to what he's trying to do for himself and make sure I make note of it in my own, daily routine. The next thing is to clean up my work desk area because damn, this has been too long. It's frustrating because I don't feel comfortable sitting here working because of how dirty it is, and I know that lack of motivation is just purely because it's messy. And then finally, this one is huge. Our water heater gave out this Sunday, I believe. So this was something that I was hoping to not spend until after I was done with my debt, but we have no hot water. Thank goodness we're in summer season, so it's not the biggest, annoyance, but it's definitely something we have to get fixed. So I need to get started on researching the options. I have a pretty good idea already of what kind of water heaters are suited for home, and also more or less the cost of what it's going to be. The installation is something I am not looking forward to because my whole idea of redoing the mudroom was specifically to change where the water heater is, since currently the access location to our water heater cuts off a really good real estate area in our pantry. So I wanted to redo the mudroom so we can transfer it there. But now that it's completely out, I may have to pay double. So pay for it to get fixed in the current location that it's at, and then eventually down the line, pay for reinstallation, which I was not looking forward to. That's something that I have there. So I kind of broke down the things from these goals down here. I need to remember to add these also to my daily planning. And then down here, there's some subscriptions I want to cancel to better tackle my debt. I'm going to cancel Epidemic Sound. Right now, uploading videos to YouTube, it's something that I very much enjoy doing, but it's not bringing in any return whatsoever. So I don't want to spend on services like this. I do already use Adobe, so that's something I'm still going to be paying in order to continue doing these videos. But the music, my videos are going to be a little silent for now, at least until we hit the 1,000 mark subscriber count. So if you guys want to be part of that, please be sure to check in and be part of it, because I would love to be able to bring back this type of service. I want to make sure I get some movement in because I've still been pretty lethargic most days, 2 to 3 times per week. And then I want to have an earlier dinner time. I specifically want to stick before 8. And lastly, I forgot what was the last thing that I wanted to check this week. I'll leave it blank in case I remember. There was another thing I wanted to check. Looking ahead, that's just where I'm going to journal. Down here, I didn't even add my expenses, as you can see. It's not that I didn't want to do it on camera because I wasn't sure if I felt comfortable sharing them. Now I am just going to add them. I mean, it is what it is. So on my Amex, I have okay, so I've logged in my debt, and in this bottom section, I'm going to write the rest in black ink, but in this purple ink. I wrote off the balances that I'm looking to start with. So I want to pay at least a minimum of $500 to my Discover. So I add that on my bill section. Groceries, currently we are giving ourselves a $250 weekly grocery allowance, and I feel this is a very healthy budget. This allows us to still buy healthier options, so a couple of organics, just a bit of higher end meats here and there, and it still allows us to buy uh, certain snacks that we just prefer to buy. So I really like to buy flavored sparkling water and things like that. And those little things, they add up. Not to mention like the baby and toiletries, everything is in here. So if 1 week we're buying, like this last week that we bought some trash bags and a big box of diapers, all that is already accounted for in here. There's no separate toiletries budget or a separate baby items budget. Everything is in here. Finally, gas. I just added some last week. I don't think I'm going to use this $25, but just in case, I'm going to put it in here. Personal, I'm trying not to spend right now, and I'm fine with not spending this week either, so $0. And then income, I just left it blank. That is something I want to keep private, so I'll leave it blank. And then from these top dollars, I'll go ahead and take off the amounts as I start to spend from each account. So that's done. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and add in certain events and tasks that I want to do. I find this to be so good. So a local church from nearby us, they're actually going to be hosting services where you can talk to an attorney about setting up a will and testament. I thought that was amazing. That is so huge. Definitely, my husband and I, ever since our baby came along, it's really changed the way we look into things, and we feel a lot more driven into having things like that set up for ourselves. So we definitely want to take advantage of that. Oh, I forgot. On the 29th, I think that's when my parents are visiting. My parents are visiting this weekend. So don't judge me too harshly, but part of what I'm gonna do for my parents' visit is to make myself a list of things that I want to accomplish while they're here. Just tasks that I've been putting off because it's harder to do with the baby. So deep cleaning, both of the I want to deep clean all of my sinks and all of my tubs. I want to sort through all of my cleaning products, and these are things that, yes, they can be done with the baby here, but I don't want to expose her to bleach or to things like that. So it'd be a lot easier if, she were to enjoy her grandparents while I get these things done. So I just want to make a list of things like that I want to do. I'm actually hoping to get a video out where I'm finally tackling some of these things that I pushed from the last week. I really don't want to drag them on for another week, especially because next week I have my parents' visit and there's other things I want to do. So as my little accountability partners, hopefully I can record a video for you guys of me getting some of these tasks done on my daily planner. So if you guys have enjoyed this weekly planning and are excited for a daily planning, I'll be sure to see you on the next one.